Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Triforce. We're in the control room back in Jamaica, and I definitely want to talk to you guys about this very important thing that's going on in the fighting game community, the secret war between Marvel and DC and how it's going to power up the entire FGC. So let's get to it. Now this video is actually for like people who aren't into the fighting game community. It isn't for the people who are actually here, because for the most part the people who are actually here in the fighting game community, they already know a lot about what's actually going on in the entire community, its culture, and the industry that I was developing in esports and all of that other stuff. But this is really for those who like fighting games but don't know too much about it and want to get involved. So let me give you a little back history. For a very long time, Street Fighter, King of Fighters, Mortal Kombat have been like the flagship 2D games that have been carrying the fighting game community, both casually and competitively. In the 3D sphere, you had Virtual Fighter, you had Tekken, and you had Soul Calibur. And then also from the multiplayer side, you've had Smash Brothers. And it's been carrying the FGC for over a decade plus. In fact, some of these games, 20 years. Now, in this regard, when we look at Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Injustice 2, now these two games, like the war between these two games and what it's going to bring, the actual competitive atmosphere is being rejuvenated because of these games. And that's largely due to the fact that these are some popular brands, like from a movie standpoint. You know, you have Guardians of the Galaxy 2, a bunch of different Marvel movies coming out this year, next year, Thor Ragnarok, you have Black Panther, and then on the DC side, you have Justice League. There's so many different things going on in the comic book universe, and then comic books are popular. So a lot of people already know about that, and this is the thing that helps the people who have no idea of what's going on in the fighting game community and culture to get more involved, because they use those particular franchises to bridge the gap. So in these two games, you're going to take a look at the Darkseid intro, and some of you guys have already seen this, but if you haven't, you're definitely going to like this, that they brought Darkseid to Injustice 2. Let's take a look at this footage right here.
From the fiery depths of apocalypse.
Noted for classification.
Now that was some epic stuff. I'm a huge fan of Darkseid. Darkseid's like the Thanos of the DC universe. So my two favorite cosmic characters in both universes, Marvel and DC, is Thanos and Darkseid. I don't know. Those characters are just ridiculous. It's something about their godlike essence that's just ridiculous. This man walks with his hands behind his back. My man Omega beams you. He looks at you first. He's in disgust, turns right back around, then fires the beam off. He doesn't even have the decency to look at you as he's destroying you. So Darkseid is the truth. But as great as Injustice 2 is, Marvel is just as equally great when you look at Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. In fact, these guys merged the Ultron and Sigma, which I'm like, oh my God, finally, a godlike crossover storyline. You have no idea how important storylines are to fighting games. It's what gets people immersed into the world. It's just as important as the fighting game engine and the mechanics. And over the years, a lot of fighting games have forgotten about that, and that's why the fighting games have become lackluster. But with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, you know something? Why talk about it? Take a look.
All biological life must be exterminated.
Agreed. Allow me to show you.
Time, space, the mind, the soul, reality, power. A new universe shall be forged. Heroes of both dimensions. Welcome to ours. The Prince of Asgard has come home. Go, show him what we've made of you. Commander Redfield, you still dare challenge us? We are Ultron Sigma.
What's the biggest thing you ever killed with that bad boy, huh?
Okay, so now you see what I'm talking about. Like, finally, a great storyline, crossover storyline, two different universes, all these godlike characters that Capcom have, all meshed into one. Now people can really get immersed into the game. But what does all of this actually mean? You know, for someone who's not in the fighting game community, they're going to say, well, okay, Triforce, this looks great and cool and everything, but what does this mean? You said that the secret wars between the two games are going to power up the FGC. See, what happens here is, in the past, it has done this, but not to the spectrum that it's going to do, like, in today's time, for the fighting game community. But in the past, great franchises like Marvel and DC have brought more people into the fighting game community to compete, right? But what makes the fighting game community grow is its competitive element. And Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Injustice 2 has two massive communities with players great on both sides, and I'm talking, these guys are ridiculous. Wait till when you see these guys play this game. You have the three gods of the Marvel age, which was Sanford Kelly, Justin Wong, IFC Yipes. Those guys actually used to play for the team Empire Arcadia that I founded, and now they're on different teams and stuff like that. Then you have the new gods, from Chris G to Kane Blue River to Filipino Champ and more. And then on the Injustice end, there were only two gods in the Injustice 1 era. And that was the first Injustice god, KDZ, who won the 2013 EVO World Championships. And then the following year, Sonic Fox, who won the 2014 and, well, actually, yeah, there was only two champions. There wasn't even a 2015. 2015, Sonic Fox dominated Mortal Kombat, and 2014 and I think 2013 as well. But what these two games bring is it creates an opportunity between these two games and their war to create new gods in a new era, in a time when the esports infrastructure has been completely revolutionized by the industry, investors, and sponsors. That's going to make fighting games even bigger. And then these games are dropping when its movie counterparts, or the parent part, because the games are the counterparts, where the parent parts of the brand, which is the movie, are coming out in the same year. So this is going to make this game epic. Do not be surprised if you see when they launch these two games that there are these major launches, exhibition type invites and events to help promote the game along with the movie and so forth. And you know, Empire Arcade has a huge history in the fighting game community. We have 13 championships at EVO and more, so we're going to be getting involved in those 2 games as well. So you'll be seeing our players there, best believe that. But what does this mean to you guys who are new? Well, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Injustice 2 both are completely new games in terms of their engine. They use a lot of fundamentals. So if you played any of the previous versions of the games, you can get your fundamentals from there. And for those who's like, well, I want to be able to play some of it now, how can I play it now? Well, you could go back and play some of the old school versions of the games and get the fundamentals down packed, because they have a bunch of new things that's in the newer versions of the game, so you can get ready for it. But this gives you guys an opportunity to become either one of the new titans or the new gods of the game. And when this game drops, I'm talking about from EVO to ESL, possibly MLG, DreamHack, you name it. These games are going to blow up. There's going to be a crossover war between the Injustice community and the Marvel community. And it's all good rivalry, all good and fun, all great and dandy. But to find out more, you guys can check out the Injustice channel. Just type in Injustice in YouTube. It'll pop up. You can check those guys out. And for more, you can check out Capcom Community, or Cap Community, I guess that's what they call it. Or you can go to the home of all fighting games, which is Shoryuken SRK. You can find out more information as they drop these games. But I just wanted to give you guys, the new guys who are not really, you know too much about the fighting game community and want to get involved, people from like the Nintendo community, people from the retro community, people from like different genre games, a little 101 tutorial about the history of the Marvel vs. Capcom series, what comic books have done for the fighting game community, because it actually helped it evolve to the point where it's now evolving again. And there's a little war going on between the 2 communities, and which game is better and which one helps the scene. But that rivalry, that confrontation is actually good for the scene, and it's going to help the scene grow in the long run. So for you guys who are interested in checking out those games, you can check a look in the description. I left some links for you guys who want to investigate and find out more about the games and stuff like that, and what you guys can do to get involved, and how you can learn to play the game when the game comes out, all that other stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later when more news and details regarding this comes out. Peace.